Today, I'm here to talk to you about periods, the menstrual cycle. I'm going to tell you how the menstrual cycle is key to gender equality. Now, I'm sure this topic has made some of you feel uncomfortable, but some of you might feel inquisitive, and I challenge you to hear what I have to say. This is not an anatomy lesson. I simply want to draw your attention to a critical aspect of menstruation that has persisted for centuries: stigma. How many of you have had to slip a sanitary pad up your sleeve so no one will see? Or felt that surge of anger at the fact that there is a tampon tax? Or how many of you have been in a position where you cannot afford sanitary items? These are all realities of life as a menstruator, and this needs to change. Hi, my name is Monet Sission. I'm a menstrual cycle coach and educator. You're probably wondering, what is a menstrual cycle coach? Well, put simply, I educate people on the menstrual cycle and help them to find harmony with their cycle. I'm also an expert on period poverty, having dedicated years of work and research to this cause. Period poverty refers to the lack of access to essential sanitary products, as well as access to adequate basic sanitation services. And fundamentally, it also includes lack of access to menstrual education. This biological process has existed since the dawn of time. It is a fact of life. And believe it or not, there was a time where humanity celebrated menstrual periods. The ancients believed it to be a highly magical and spiritual phenomenon. The menstrual cycle is more than just a monthly bleed. It's also how ovulation occurs. It's how we reproduce. It is our body's vital sign of fertility and health. The menstrual cycle has 4 unique phases, where in each phase we have different abilities, strengths, weaknesses, and moods. And being aware of this, we can create a sense of harmony within ourselves and the world around us. However, over time, cultural and social shifts in our world have taught us to hide menstruation. We take pills to control it, use sanitary items to avoid seeing the blood, and we pretend our menstrual cycle doesn't exist. This stigma has irrevocably led to dire consequences for some of our most vulnerable populations. Globally, we have acknowledged that our world needs change. The Sustainable Development Goals were created to address our global challenges. I want to bring to your attention SDG 5, Gender Equality. And I want to ask you, do you believe we can achieve true gender equality when half the population is subject to a stigma that prevents them from living harmoniously in our world? 26% of the global population menstruates. In fact, a person menstruates for 10 years of their lifetime. That's over 500 periods. Yet across the world, stigma disempowers people and creates unequal life outcomes. 1 in 10 people who menstruate in the UK are unable to afford sanitary items. In the global south, lack of toilet facilities leads women and girls to develop coping strategies to manage menstruation, such as eating and drinking less. Menstruators are often excluded from religious, cultural, and social events. Some cannot even leave the house when they are bleeding, preventing them from attending work and school, leading to unequal economic outcomes. Studies have found women in the global south have been coerced into irreversible sterilization surgeries because they are not empowered with reproductive education. You may be thinking, there are more pressing issues in the world, like violent conflict, food shortages, or a global pandemic. However, all of these issues exacerbate period poverty and hinder life for menstruators. Imagine being in a violent conflict and having your period and having no way to manage it. What would you do? I envision body harmony as the freedom to embrace and celebrate the menstrual cycle and live without stigma, just as the ancients used to. I believe that this can be done through menstrual cycle education, and this is the beginning of your education. Together we can end menstrual stigma. To realistically achieve SDG 5, gender equality, I believe 3 things to be true. That education matters, empowerment matters, menstruation matters, so make menstruation matter. Thank you very much.